What's up, people? I still don't have an intro, even a verbal one. I got nothing. But it is
Here we
episode
are.
5 of season 2 of I was going to say The Last Mile. I don't even have that part down. I don't even This is Beyond the Algorithm. Welcome. And this is episode 5 of season 2. Hannibal and I, as I've told you guys in each of the episodes, did a season 30 months ago. It was awesome. You guys loved it. I don't know what took so long to bring it back. And we did 5 episodes, and that was season 1. Now it's been season 2, and this is the fifth episode, and they've all been great. And tonight we're going to end it with Dumpling and like the Dumpling Vacation, which has had some changes. And I got my awesome guest who I love having on always. I got Holly here with me. And for those of you that aren't aware or don't know Holly, you will soon. Most of you do. But if you don't, she knows a lot about this dumpling stuff. And so
I've been absent kind of off of YouTube for the last year because I had some health issues, but I'm coming back. So
yeah. And but you do, this stuff. And like I was saying to Holly right before we went live, I'm like, oh man, because like I knew that I saw it from the dumpling page the other day, but I think the last time I even talked about dumpling, I said when you go to dumpling.us, you actually land on a page that promoted like Dumpling Vacation, that the shopping had been buried. It was like gone. It was in there, but you had to like dig. And now it was the other way around. I went to Dumpling US and it's like back to the shopping.
Right.
And it's like you have to dig for the vacation, but the vacation is a huge portion. And I know they must have some affiliation. I haven't talked to Joel about this since I've seen this, but Holly is working on what I'm imagining, and maybe you'll correct me, Holly, but has worked on this, and we were both stoked about Dumpling Vacation, but it's now called Prept Vacation. And again, you can get there from the dumpling page. So I do believe there's some kind of relationship. I mean, I don't know exactly how that is, but
well, I think it's just that they still own it, and I don't know why they switched to Prep.
But do they still own it? Because that was kind of my thing. Like even yesterday when I was like, where is it? I know they didn't get rid of it. It took me a minute to find it.
No, they do, because when I have any issues or whatever that I have to message somebody, it's always the same people. So.
Oh, okay.
So.
Okay. I wonder why, like, to me, again, I'm not being mean and I kind of get it, but Dumpling, you and I have always agreed, is a great thing, but weird name, right? Well, a weird name for that. I feel like Prepped is a weird name too. I get it, but I feel like you're not embodying what we're doing, what this is.
Well, and I don't know. I got to pull that up. Actually, I'm going to look.
Like, it's just for those of you out there, it's Prept, Prept vacations.com. So if you go there, that's what it used to be on the dumpling.us page, which is where you go sign up for Dumpling. We'll talk a little bit about both tonight. Right, and by the way, this is a Q&A. You got questions, throw them in the chat, and Holly will answer all of them.
Yeah. I have all the answers. It was called Dumpling Resort. Is what it was.
There you go. But I mean, from what I can tell from the little bit I was looking through, it looks like this is actually the same layout of the webpage. Everything is Dumpling Resort, just with the Prepped name.
Right. And you have a new app. So you have a Prepped app instead of the Dumpling app. You don't use that one anymore. You don't use the Boss. You don't use the Boss card. It's all like it's a totally separate thing.
Is it a fee?
Same fee.
You're under the same fee?
Yeah. So it's still, for the vacation one, it's $79 a month.
Whoa. No, what I'm saying is no, it's not the same fee. You have to pay that one too, as well.
Oh, well, it always was that way. Whether if you were Dumpling personal groceries.
Oh, okay. I never, yeah. You and I talked about the vacation.
Yeah, the resort was $79
resort,
as well.
Yeah. Okay, I didn't know that. I didn't know if...
Right, but you're making more if you're doing resort.
Right.
You know, absolutely. That, which is the difference in...
And from what I could tell, and you can, again, correct me if I'm wrong, but it felt like, even though like you'd think, well, my grocery customers are going to be the reliable ones that needing things every week, it felt like you're going to get a lot more action from turnover of Airbnbs.
Yeah, it depends on where you live. I live in Sarasota, so I have a ton of vacation people here. I've got Siesta Key, Anna Maria Island. So it's a great place to have it here.
Didn't everything get blown away in the hurricane?
Oh, we rebuild so fast down here that you blink and it's like we never had a hurricane. So
I'm just saying, because specifically you were nailed.
oh yeah. Yeah.
I mean,
I
I don't know how many of you guys follow this, but when the hurricanes were hitting, it was the first, I think, of the two big ones, and it literally hit her.
Yeah,
like,
we actually got hit twice. We got hit 2 weeks apart. We got
right,
hit
yeah.
And then had a break and then got hit again. So
yeah.
But where my house is, I'm okay. But yeah, the islands, Anna Maria, Siesta Key, they were wiped out for a couple months. So
before we even jump in any farther, though, I am going to ask Holly and you guys in chat, if see where it says, like, and I'm going to say hi. Hey, Traveler. Hey, Bubba Sue. Hey, Ellen. How you guys all doing? Can you even read that?
Read what?
Like, exactly. No, but right under you in the screen, you'll see like chat.
Yeah, I cannot.
It's supposed to be a new feature in StreamYard. Even on a computer, I was looking at it. I'm like, man.
Let me see if I can.
Like, even it has to be blown up so big to even see it. I'm like, because I can turn it off. And I was like, I've been waiting for that feature.
Oh, yeah.
But they did it so poorly, I can't read it.
Yeah, you can't read that at all. I see what it is now, where it's the chat is like underneath me.
Yeah, and it's something I've wanted for a long time, but like Restream does it where they actually bar it off. You can totally read it and see it. And I'm asking everybody in chat too, can you guys see this? Is it have any value? Because if not, after tonight, I ain't turning it on again.
Are you on a computer? Can you see it on the computer screen?
Yeah, Ellen says no. See, I don't know is anybody, that's the other thing. Is anybody on a computer? Because I am, but I'm in studio, so it's a small window I have. But no, I mean, I was looking on my iPad after the fact, because it even records this wave on the playback.
Right.
And we've always wanted this feature, but it's just, I mean, I was like squinting with my glasses on. I turned the phone side. I couldn't.
Yeah, it should be the entire. I mean, why waste all this space? Why not put the whole thing under there?
I don't know. I mean, I can only tell by some of the avatars.
Well,
so to me, that's why I was asking all you guys, because to me, and if anybody's on a computer, please tell us how it looks on a computer.
If you and I ran the world, how much better it would be.
I mean, this would be fixed,
right.
So, but okay, so we can get to dumpling stuff too, because I think that's always good to end on. But I think we should start with Prept, because Prept is cool, and that's where we left off last time. And I'm still interested. This is beyond the algorithm. We're looking for different ways to earn. And this is interesting. I mean, at least in theory, I'm not sure how it plays out. You just said something crucially important that we say about everything. It does matter where you live. It does matter not only where you live, but are you in a 3 or 4 month seasonal place that just gets nailed for people coming through, or is it year round? Like, you got to know what you're doing, and you're gonna work it based on volume of people coming through. And
one thing that is different, which is probably why the fee is different as well, with Dumpling, when you sign up and you're doing the personal groceries, you know how they give you like a web page, but it's through their website. It's not your own website. It's just kind of like a about me page, but it's through the Dumpling thing. Well, with Prept, you actually buy a domain. So like mine is Island Hopper Grocery Delivery. So I went to GoDaddy, or you go wherever you want, but to buy your domain name, and then I gave that to Prept Dumpling, and they take that and they build you a whole website. So everybody that has a Prept Vacation account has their own website. So somebody that I run into or whatever about my business, I'm promoting islandhoppergrocerydelivery.com. You know what I mean? So it's not they're having to go through Prept and find me and all that. So it looks a little better, I think, on us as business owners.
I'm guessing they can also find you through Prept as well.
I don't know, honestly.
Like, can I go to Prept and just search Sarasota and find you?
I don't think so. I don't think it works that way at all. I work with the best thing to do with the resort vacation is to find people you can pair up with. Either go to
but so here I am on the page, and I ran across this and I'm going to be in Sarasota and I need to find somebody to hook me up. Like, that's weird.
Yes, I don't see that on here at all.
Well, it says order now at the bottom, so I'm clicking that right now to see if it has like a search, maybe. I don't know.
Get to know us about Prept.
Shop now. I can't tell. But anyways, guys, let's learn from Holly and what she knows about this. What's up, Kevin Hawthorne? What's up, Josh? What's up, Lisa? Can barely see it on the computer. Yeah, me neither. And even on other devices, it's just too small. Bubsue, I'm on my phone. It's difficult. Is it difficult? Because wow, Bubsue, you have amazing eyes. If it's just difficult, I had my big phone, and I was like, what? And I had my glasses on. I was putting it to every angle. I couldn't read anything.
Well, I can tell you one thing that they need to do, and that is to get, oh shoot, I dropped that. To get someone to maybe look at the content that they have on the Prept website, because when you click on About Us, we built Dumpling to help people, and the whole thing is like Dumpling Resort stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Thus, Dumpling Resort was built. Dumpling Resort has grown, blah, blah, blah. So it's not even putting the Prept name on there. So they probably should fix that if they want to separate themselves.
And when I clicked the order now on the Prept page, it took me to a website aheadofarrival.com.
Yes, Ahead of Arrival is the name for, it's very confusing.
See, this is what I'm saying. This is getting confusing here.
That is also Prept and Dumpling.
Okay.
Ahead of Arrival. So when I get orders in,
so maybe this is where I'd find you. Maybe this is more for the person looking to travel.
Maybe.
You see what I'm saying? Like, because it pulled up a list. Where are you going? And like, so I can tell you guys, and then you'll know about your markets, like Arizona, Scottsdale, California, Lake Tahoe, Napa, Palm Springs, Colorado, Aspen, Breckenridge, Crested Butte,
yes,
Steamboat,
I see. They have a
Vale.
list. If people can see that, when you click on that, it shows you a list of where they're available.
Yep.
So if we go to Florida, Anna Maria Siesta Key, click on that. Then it took me just straight to a grocery list. Okay, so then if the customer goes on that website and they order through there, then the order is sent to me because I'm the person here for that area.
Is there no way like on here where I can say, before I order though, who's the person I'm going to be dealing with?
I don't think so, but I think I'm the only one, because I don't think that they don't like drown an area with a bunch of people. So like if there's already somebody there that's committed with them for those orders, that's kind of the way it's going to stay, I believe. So
I'm gonna move ahead with a little fake order here while Holly tells us a little bit about her experience so far with it.
The other thing that I did want to mention, I started to go into, was that if you want to do this, a good thing to do is find a company like that's a concierge company. Like I'm partnered here with a company called Coastal Concierge, and they do things like, oh gosh, anything you can think of. If you want to come here and rent jet skis, or you want to have a picnic on the beach or whatever, they have all of these services they offer, and then they work with offshoot companies like me to do whatever they need done. So any order that they get for grocery, pre-arrival grocery delivery, come to me. That is really where I get most of my orders, is through them. Now, sometimes I do get ones through the way you're doing it right now. But when those orders come through, I see it'll say Coastal Concierge next to it, or it'll say Ahead of Arrival next to it. So I know where that order came from. Also, people can go directly to my website. So the other thing that you want to do is go out, talk to resorts. You want to find Airbnb people that, own several Airbnbs, and try and get in with those people.
Wait, so you just hit on something I did want to touch on. So you say several Airbnbs. Why not just one?
Well, because how much business are you going to get off one Airbnb?
I don't know. I mean, like in Breckenridge and Vale and stuff, you're going to get turnover twice a week, and they'll probably pay good. So I'm not saying I wouldn't rather have somebody with a super host with 10 places, but
Yeah, I mean, you definitely want to shoot for that. I mean, if you find
Okay.
somebody's one, that's well
I
and
just
good.
was
But I
wondering if
mean,
you had a reason, like don't go to
yeah,
one for, okay.
I'm just thinking if somebody's coming and they're going to rent for a week, so you're going to maybe have 4 people come in a month, and they may not all use you. So I mean, it's just better to have more. Um, you can have employees under you just like you could on the dumpling deal. That's very easy to do. Actually, when I go out of town, the guy that owns Coastal, he or his son will fill orders for me if they're available. So I had to, it was funny because they partnered with me, and I mean, I kind of feel like,
So this is weird. So, okay, I'm now putting in my arrival date, where I'm staying and siesta, where he's staying, the arrival date, the arrival time. Now, this is through ahead of arrival,
yes.
and it's additional delivery details. Would you prefer substitutes? No. Anything special to add? No. I added a few things. Gratuity 25%. How'd you hear about us? Holly Camp. I understand. Agree to the terms. I understand there is a $50 cancellation fee, and I haven't even met you or who's going to be dealing with me yet.
Well,
Like they're trying to make
if you
me
place an
right
order through
now commit
Instacart,
to
you
a
haven't met them
50.
either.
You see what I'm saying though?
Right, but if you order through Instacart or DoorDash, you haven't met them either.
Right, but I would rather know your website and just go to you and go, Holly, what's up?
Right. Well, that's you. But if people going on vacation, they don't care. They want to get off the plane. They want to show up to their condo. They want their stuff already put away in the fridge, and everything's there ready for them. And
Oh,
because
I
we're not
understand there is a
delivering to your.
$50 cancellation fee for orders canceled within 48 hours of selected arrival. Oh. So, I mean, I guess, yeah. I mean, now if I were to put in a card and stuff, I almost want to put in my card because I'm really curious if you'd get this.
I will, but I won't be able to see it right away because it's on my other phone that I'm recording on.
I just feel like, like, how sure are we? I know you're the only one there, but
No, I'm sure.
really, like, again, it's different. So, like, here, Prepped is where you would. So, here's how I take it so far. Prepped Vacations is where you'd go to sign up if you're interested. Aheadofarrival.com is where you'd go. Hopefully, they have a way of like they're building marketing to there to actually pick one of these resort locations.
And that's actually what I don't know is, are they marketing Prepped? Are they marketing ahead of arrival? I don't know where that marketing is and what is going on.
Well, I mean, it should be both. They need to have people
but
to
I
do
don't
the
know.
jobs, but they also, I would say, much more of it should be going to ahead of arrival.
And then when you go to ahead of arrival and you hit locations and pricing, that's not correct because this says Anna Maria Island Siesta Key is a $59 delivery with a $30 or a 30% service fee. That's not correct. So I don't know why they have that on all these. It says Denver is.
Denver. I didn't even see Denver on there.
I didn't mean Denver. I meant Aspen. They say
Okay.
$79 delivery, 35%. Sir, see, that's not right either.
So wait, but hold on. Is that maybe what they're charging on
No.
top of all you?
No.
Like, oh, you want to use arrival?
I see all that. I see all that when I
Okay.
get it. It would be.
So
But
like dumpling, it's transparent. We can trust it.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I wish that I wish I was on the opposite phone so I could actually look at that and quote it off to you. I don't know if I can. Let's see if
At least you're taking good notes about it though, because I mean, like, you should also know. I mean, how do they pump money in? I mean, I'd like to know now against the three: dumpling, prepped, and ahead of arrival. And why don't they have a ahead of arrival, or why isn't it ahead of arrival also targeting shopping? I mean, for people in any given city to help dumpling.
What do you mean?
I mean, like, why not pick every NFL city? It's an easy way to talk about a launch. And any NFL city where dumpling shoppers are and you're coming in, you might need that service too. I mean, because they don't have Denver and all the NFL cities. They have all these mountain towns and beach towns like you.
Oh, I'm sure that they want to expand to those. They probably just haven't gotten people to do it yet.
Really? Because I mean, all of the ones I looked at, I know a lot of those cities, and they all looked like ones that are very big, only vacation type destinations. Really? I
Well,
mean,
that's probably what they focused on first. But I would think
right.
that, like, if you signed up and you called John or whatever and set yourself up, then I would imagine that Denver would show up on that list.
Wait,
Right? Don't you think?
I was trying to make fun. I was trying to make sense of this. Hey, Rick. Hi, you all can't shout individually because I'm driving.
What?
We won't, Rick. Sorry. Don't even know what it means, buddy.
What are we doing wrong? What are we doing?
Oh no. But so okay, but your experience with this, you have to pay an amount. I've always been fine with that. And in fact, you'll like this. So last week or 2 weeks ago on the podcast, I put out a challenge to people. I said, would you pay? And I lowballed it. I gotta be honest. It's been out there long enough, so it's not a spoiler, guys. A lot of you read it and were like, no or yes. But I said, would you pay $80 a year as an independent contractor to have your background check done, not through Checker, but correctly? And for the entire year, that badge, that check works to get you on every app you want. You don't have to have a check from. Yes, you're saving the gig apps money from checking you all the time, but would you rather have a check done that says, hey, we had an issue, that allows you, like a real background check that would allow you to correct a minor one and pay $89 for a year? Or would you rather go through these sequences we keep going through, people are getting deactivated, all this other stuff? And I was shocked. I mean, it was like 15-20% were like, I'd pay it. And I was thinking to myself, if you wouldn't pay $89 a year, you're not in business for yourself.
I wouldn't, because I don't have to have checks that often.
But you never know when they're going to happen. You never know. And people, I mean, like people, and if you're thinking, but my checks are fine. Yeah, they are, but they use Checker. I'm talking about using a real background check. You know what I mean? Like Checker can screw up anytime. Checker, I think you know this. I've said it many times, but Nova Dasher, who's now Nova Hustles, he has close to 30,000 door dashes. He had over 25 at this time. He was deactivated on a day that he was with his family and didn't even turn the app on.
Wow.
And the date in question was that day. And he was like, what are you talking about? And he did all the fighting. He did all the, and like 3 months. And then he kind of just gave up and moved to other gig apps because he has a W-2 too, but he moved to the other gig apps. And he was just like, this crap, changed his handle name. And all of a sudden, like then another 2 months later, they're like, you're back on. He's like, what?
I know we're not talking about DoorDash right now, but I do have a quick question. Has any, because since we have other people here, in case anybody else has experienced this, has anyone or have you seen to where when you're doing deliveries, it's saying, we haven't had photos on your last deliveries or whatever? And I'm like, this prompts me to take a picture if I'm not handing it to the customer. There's no way I can bypass that. Obviously you have a picture and I'm taking them every time. So, but I'm getting this message every time I'm dropping off, you know, make sure you take a photo. Some of your deliveries were missing photos. I'm like, no, they weren't. So I don't know.
Were you maybe like in bad cell service?
No, this has been happening like for a week, every day.
Yeah, no, I haven't had that.
I don't know if anybody else had that issue.
And I actually do use, I'm not bragging about it because usually I just go live and talk with people for a couple hours waiting for one offer. But but I do these lives now with DoorDash, and because we have our DoorDash is night and day here. No, I don't know how familiar you are.
Mine isn't good here either, but
no, I mean, we have the full transparency law went in effect, and it's hilarious.
That's the other thing is I'm now again, which is weird because I know that transparency thing went into effect for people, but now I'm seeing hidden tips again. Well, we didn't see hidden tips for at least over a year, and all of a sudden hidden tips are back.
Well, you can't have, again, ours is different. You can't have hidden tips.
I know.
But you can't have any removed, and it breaks it down, and it didn't want to put, this is how much they fought for a stupid thing. So like DoorDash, Uber Eats, if somebody orders on Uber Eats, and I know it's never happened to me, or even many people I know, but a lot of people claim it happens a lot. But tip baiting, if you get tip baited, you have to be paid the full amount you screenshot the offer for. So the tip baiting doesn't matter. Uber now has to make a decision in Colorado. What do we want to do? Because they have to pay the driver the full amount. So if they want to like credit every customer that wants to tip bait, it's now coming out of their wallet here.
Right.
And so that's a big difference. But like on DoorDash, you see the total amount you'll make, and then right next to it, they have to print the customer tip. DoorDash, even after that, fought to not have after that what the base pay was. And I'm like, well, wouldn't you just take the total, subtract the tip, and that's the base pay?
Well, and that's why I thought it was weird, because why, when this transparency thing goes into effect for all these cities and they now have to be transparent.
Well, it's only here. We're the only ones so far.
Oh, you're the only ones. Okay.
Colorado's the only one.
I just thought it was odd, the timing of it, that it coincided with when they had to be transparent with you, that all of a sudden I'm seeing hidden tips again.
They are starting to play with different, you know, they play like in your market, they're doing that. In another market, they're doing something else. They are starting to play with things like transparency elsewhere because I think they see it potentially coming. But it's amazing. I was telling people the other day, and I'll tell you that, I mean, while we're on this subject, I'll just say that because there was first of all, I think the TOS says that base pay can range between $2 and either $12 or $14. So whatever, we know it's not 14 or whatever, but whatever. But I think we all think it's 2 or 3 every time, if not even screwing around less or whatever's going on. I saw an offer the other night or a few weeks back that was $16 for 2.3 miles from Wingstop. Okay, now, no, if you don't live in Transparency Town, you're thinking, I'm taking that. Good offer, right?
Yeah.
Right? Okay. When I see it, I also see right up front the facts, and it said total pay $16, tip $0. Which even means they took $2 above what they say the highest base pay can be in the TOS.
Why would they? I wonder why.
So I had a buddy, it was a Wingstop. I had a buddy who was he was working that night too. And he was in that area and he's like, I didn't see when they probably dropped it at 2. He goes, but that thing was there for a while. He goes, I saw 4 go to 8. He's like, I didn't ever see it go to 16. I'm like, oh, and we compared times and mine was like 2 minutes later. And so he saw 4 to 8 happen, but I'm thinking, see, this isn't okay. Somebody didn't tip and we're like killing, even DoorDash is killing themselves to make sure these people get why? This is why I've always said, have it be a bid process, because there's been a lot of proof to me. I would not trade transparency for anything, what it is. But I will tell you, I'm learning a lot because a lot of things we thought just aren't true, because all of you guys would have taken that $16 offer and thought, damn, nice tip. There was no tip. And everybody in every city would have, I mean, you would have thought that's a tip, right? Huge.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
You would have thought it was $2 base pay, maybe, and a $14 tip.
Yeah.
And you almost like, if you ran into the people, they probably said leave it at door, but if you did run into them, you'd be like, thanks for the tip. You know, they would just be like, I never
say that, but I'm always, very friendly and nice to people.
Right. So. But I'm just saying, like, it's weird because it's proving in this one state that we all know we're deceived. We all know this is like, this algorithm's all messed up. We know these tiers are wrong, but it's proving like these crazy things like, oh, everything you think, even that's not true. Even a good paying might just be us paying you, which means, and I started talking to like Tony Driven Dad and stuff, and he agrees. We were like, I think it's like a bar trying to close out at the end of a night and not have a house tab and make sure that none of the tills are off. Almost like they're just maneuvering money throughout the night and making sure that this base pay, make sure this is paid, keep them as low as you can. And it's just like they're just juggling money. And Tony and I even got a little conspiracy-ish and we're like, dude, I have a theory, maybe our tips or people's tips are in there too. And everybody has the theory about they steal the tips. I'm not saying that, but they may be using it just juggled around to make all the payments what they want. They may be stealing it. I mean, I'm not even accusing them of that.
Who would know though? So you're right. I mean,
they have to go through audits here. Every 3 months, they have to submit their database. And the customer receipt has to match my receipt.
How long do you think that order sat there for it to go from $2 to 16?
I mean, I've talked with a few people about it, and I was talking to some people who were like, man, they're saying if it was sitting there a while, they're like, they're gonna pay a lot to get that out. And I'm thinking the opposite way of run bars and restaurants. I'm like, what? If somebody didn't tip me and and it was a dozen wings, it wasn't even a big order. It was a dozen wings from Wingstop. Like, I mean, what is that? $8? I got paid twice as much as the item itself.
Yeah. Oh, I do want to tell you, I had a lady last week on DoorDash that was here on vacation with her daughter, and it was a big long story why they were here, but I won't get into all that. Anyway, she'd already tipped me nicely on the app, or I wouldn't have taken the order. But it was a Target order for some groceries, not a whole lot, just a handful of things, 2 or 3 bags. So she hands me a cash tip at the door. I normally don't look down in my hand, whatever. I take it, thank you, and walk to my car. Well, as I turned around to start walking back to my car, I glanced down. She handed me $100 bill. And I was like,
I haven't had a cash tip. I
oh my
still was
gosh,
getting them a while.
so then I talked to her and, really thanked her and stood there and talked to her for about another 10 minutes. And anyway, but
yeah. I mean, look at here's Deb in Minnesota, and she's saying I always get offers for up to $20 with no tip. First of all, actually, Deb, how do you know? Because I'm in Colorado, so I see the tip breakdown. There's no other state that I know of. I'd love to dissect it if you're seeing it, because there's no other state I know of that shows here's the total you're being paid, here's the tip.
She probably knows because she took them thinking there was a tip and then later looked and saw there was no tip and that's what they paid her. That's what I would imagine.
Wait, what?
Because she probably accepted the order and did the order. And then when she looked back at it later, which you can do in earnings, then it breaks it down.
Oh, no, she's saying shopping orders we don't see until after. Really?
What do you mean? She doesn't see I mean, they don't see the tip. They don't see the breakdown until after. But if she accepted the order, she would see it. But if she didn't accept it, then she would have no way of knowing if it had a tip or not.
Wait, but people aren't doing shopping orders without knowing anything on the tip.
No, I do shop. That's all I basically do on DoorDash more than anything is shopping orders. No, you see it just like a restaurant order. You see, what your total is.
Yeah, Deb, I'm hoping you leave one more comment about that because I'm interested in. Oh, say, I don't know. There, no toppings, huh? Oh, tips. I don't know. They are no tips.
But the orders that you're talking about, where you're saying that you get offers up to $20 with no tip, those are ones you accepted and looked back at, and that's why you know there was no tip. Correct? Am I right on that?
Oh, so meaning that what we were talking about. So like when she took it, she thought 20, good job. There's a tip in there.
Right.
Then she goes back
and I thought she probably thought that. Yes.
And then okay, yeah, she's saying yes.
Okay. Yeah.
So see, that's how we fix things. But so okay, I'm looking at all these places, and right now, yes, every one of them is a destination location. There is nothing in here that is just a normal city. So there would be place for some kind of integration, but I guess that's just dumpling. But so in here, I mean, what do you like? What are you using for percentages? How are you deciding what to charge to make it worth it? Because you're paying a higher monthly fee for this.
Yeah, I looked at what other people were charging, and this is not like with DUMPLiNG. It was you charged either a flat fee or a percentage of the groceries. You could cover the platform fee, not cover the platform fee. I never did personally. And then, but with this, there is fee, fi, fo. There's a delivery fee, a service fee. So I'm charging basically, and I'm on the lower end of what everybody's charging on these, by the way.
But wait, before you go any farther, because I don't want to lose this place because it's something I just thought of right now. So you and I both always love DUMPLiNG. I still do. But so you are paying more, but you can do everything you can do on DUMPLiNG on here now.
No, you can't. You don't want to switch that over, huh?
Okay, you really don't want it all as one?
They don't want you to do it all as one. For one, I don't. But
They don't want me to do a lot of things.
Yeah, well, because people, well, you see when you're filling that out, though, you have to put where you're staying, what time you're arriving, all that. So somebody that lives here, I don't
Right, but they can't take you on as a customer.
do what?
Like they couldn't take you on as their local. I would think that don't like Prept would be like, yeah, dude, if you're gonna, because then you're gonna sell more to her.
But it's marketed as pre-arrival grocery delivery.
Right, but
So
I guess I was going by the fact that you said that they let you have your website and domain.
they do, but it's still pre-arrival grocery delivery. I mean, that's kind of what the whole concept is that you're coming here, your stuff's going to be in your condo or whatever and be put away and all that. So I don't know.
Like to me, I would tell if I was, here's my point, and maybe I'm wrong. If I was Joel, knowing him as well as I do, I would tell everybody that's a dumpling shopper, hey, move over to Prep, pay a little bit more. You'll have all the Prepped features, but also it integrates your shopping clients.
Maybe you should ask him about that because he can probably answer that better than I am.
Well, clearly, but I'm saying like I would see it because you're paying a lot more now.
Right. But yeah.
So I guess maybe that's what I need to understand. What is the money getting you per month? Obviously, just like dumpling, everybody watching or listening should understand you're going to need customers. Just like anywhere, it's not like the gig apps. If you want to cover your expense of this, you're going to at least need one customer kind of thing, and then you build your business.
Right. And that is up to you because I don't get that many that come through ahead of arrival. You know, it's, I mean, maybe one a month or something. Most of mine come through Coastal. But I also have to thank Prept Dumpling for that also because they hooked me up with them. Mm-hmm. So that's actually how I got with this. And that is where most rewards come from. I will say that really going out and doing your own marketing and finding these resorts and stuff is really important for me. Like I said, I had all these health issues last year. If I was totally healthy and I was totally fine last year, it would have been different and I could have gone out and done all that, and I haven't. So my business isn't as big as I want it to be. So now that I'm getting back on track, hopefully I will be doing that now.
Okay.
But anyway, there's my website.
I guess my other thing is like if I come to Sarasota and I'm in an Airbnb for a week and I ask you to prep it, here's what I'm going to want when I get there. What if 3 days in I'm like, hey Holly, I need a second shop?
Yes, you can do that.
But see, then you could just do shopping too. I guess I do need to ask Joel because to me, maybe he's overlooking it. I don't know. I feel like
when I get orders also, and I go and I do somebody, if they're there, which sometimes they are, sometimes they will get there before I do or whatever, then, you know, I say, oh, you know, how long are you staying, blah, blah, blah. And then when I first get their order, I always text them, you know, thank you for your order, blah, 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 take care of this for you, you know, so they've got my number at that point. And so I always tell them, hey, if you need anything else while you're here this week, you've got my number, just shoot me a text.
Okay.
And then, I mean, obviously I would have them order through the website because that's where my business comes from. But, you know,
sure.
They could at least be like, hey, are you available to do X, Y, Z? No, I would, because I mean, that's how I would get paid too. So that's why I would want to.
Right. I mean, I guess, yeah, we're all in that kind of position. But I mean, like, I would think if now that you're feeling better and stuff, if you start building this out more, you can get to a point where, especially on that second order, you could just be like, I know you're going to pay. I know where you're staying. I can cover this.
Yeah, but then you have to cover it. And I can tell you, I have one client that I kind of got into that routine with because I forget why she even originally came off of dumpling and didn't want to do it that way or couldn't do it that way. I don't know. But anyway, we've gotten into this thing now where I've been doing her off of the app for a year. And she's basically my main customer. So I do her all the time. But, you know, there are times that I'm like, I can't cover it this week. You know what I mean? So it's like, I don't want to be in that position. That's why I started my business with dumpling. I don't want to be in that position. I don't want to look like the loser that can't cover the groceries.
And a lot of these people do make, for those that don't know, a lot of people on these apps do make big orders.
Yeah. And
multiple stores, you could be spending $500-$600.
Yeah. So again, that's why I prefer to stay with doing it under dumpling or doing it under Prept. It takes that responsibility and that concern and stress off of me. Also with Prepped, you can do alcohol because it's vacationers. I don't know.
I
They
saw
say,
it in here. That's all I ordered when I made my fake order through you. So when
yeah,
you get to your other phone and you see it, all I did was make, I think I did like a bunch of 6-packs of microbrews because they didn't have them all even. I was like, I know for a fact Sarasota has more than just these 9. So I'm thinking it didn't show a store. I guess I'm pointing that out. It
it
didn't
didn't
show, it
know.
just said, here's the 9 you can get. And I'm going, I guarantee if I fly down there right now, you have 27 microbeers at least.
Right.
Like,
Well,
what's
that's
up?
the other thing that's different because with Prepped or ahead of arrival, they're not choosing a store. They're going straight into a grocery list.
Mm-hmm.
So
But
with
it's not
Dumpling, they're
full.
choosing what store. So that's up to me to where I look at their list and I'm like, oh gosh, they've got a whole bunch of organic stuff. I'm going to run to Whole Foods, you know, so I can kind of go wherever I need to go.
Yeah. Can you work out of your market, or are you stuck to that just Sarasota?
Well, yeah, it's all because this, I mean, I could, but how people are looking for me here
I guess
because
I'm like, okay, so I'm not an expert on Florida, but I did live there for 2 years working for the laser company when it started, but it was mostly Miami and I was out of the country a lot. But like if you're in Sarasota, what's the next town up? Like the big
I've
one,
got
Tampa?
Sarasota, Bradenton, Anna Maria, Siesta Key, Longboat Key. I cover
Okay,
all that
so
area.
right, a lot of those were listed in yours. I'm saying whatever maybe it's not even a town, but gets out of your zone.
It would be over an hour away.
But if it was an Airbnb, could you do it? Can you add fees? Can you make it
Oh,
worth your while?
I can do it. And actually, I have some that come into me that are down in Casey Key that, you know, somebody will order like 5 items. And I'm like, all the fees you're paying, why would you even order through here for 5 items? You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Because they're paying me $25. They're paying Coastal, the referral company, $25. Then they're paying me another percentage, 25%, or I forget even what my percentage is, you know, of their groceries on top of the 50 that they're already paying. So I mean, they're paying a lot in fees to do it
Mhm.
through here. So I'm like, if you're gonna do it, like get all the stuff you need for the week. Don't do it and just like get 5 things. What? Why? That I
Right.
don't understand. But
Right. And so here Tim Gigwise, Tim is saying Prepped is not in my market. And right beneath it, Lisa says, Tim, it's for tourists on vacation. It is. And now but Tim got me thinking there that, so, okay, because I'm in Denver and Prepped isn't even here, but it's in all the mountain towns. Couldn't I mean, I would have to more grassroots it, but couldn't I take my dumpling account and now go talk to concierges and stuff like Prepped on my own with my dumpling and just say, hey, I'll
you
stock
could,
things.
but if you, again, you're not going to be able to do alcohol. If you do, you're going to have to do it off of the thing and
Yeah.
figure out, you know,
Yeah.
another way to do it, as you know. Um,
But I mean, other things. If they just have 2 kids, they're coming in, they're renting an Airbnb, but Denver's not on the map. Can't I take? I mean, not saying steal it because they're the same company, but can't I look at the Prepped vacations and do what they're doing through my dumpling?
I mean, yes and no. I
I
mean,
mean, again, it's going to be
like I
more
said,
legwork. I have to go
right.
find people who are doing these and get
And
in with
it's just
people who
still
don't know
different,
me.
you know. They're picking a store where before, you know, you don't have to mess with all that. It is different, but you could do it technically through that,
I'm
but
just asking because,
just in a different
again, this is
way,
beyond the algorithm. I'm trying to like expand. How do you
right?
go beyond just shopping for people?
But you know, the website that they build you as a resort, it is nice, and you can put. There are people which I have not built mine out again because I've had all this stuff going on. I haven't built mine out as well as like say there's a, oh shoot, can't think of her name.
Wait, so
She's in
what is it called
Orlando.
again? I'm putting it in the chat.
Mine, Island Hopper Grocery Delivery. But like the girl in Orlando, she has like all these, because it's Disney. She does all these little like kid buckets that you can order, or she does like the barbecue grocery list, and like she has a whole like basket, not basket, I don't want to say that, but a package, you know, that has certain things in it, which I do want to do that. I like that. So
Mm-hmm.
instead of like picking each individual item, they're saying, hey, it's a girls weekend. Hey, let's get this girls weekend package. It's got X, Y, and Z. And yeah, that's all we're going to need. Some bagels and cream cheese and some champagne and whatnot, you know. So they can also do that, which I like that. I think that's a great idea.
So okay, I got to your landing page. Is it your contact info? Because I see at the bottom, Prepped Resort powered by.
Right, but that's the contact us.
Okay,
All
because I
that is
mean,
me.
because I mean, if I know for a fact I'm not going to do it, but I know if I click that, it's going to go to the website. I'll do it.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it did. See, if I clicked the Prepped powered by at the bottom,
oh yeah,
it goes right to Prepped. Like, I don't know.
Well, right, but there's no reason that you're going to click on that. You're going to click on contact us or my email, but you wouldn't click.
I think you forgot a lot of people are stupid.
Really?
Yeah.
You can click on shop and it takes you to the grocery list. Oh wait, here. If you click on shop, actually the first thing that pops up, now wouldn't you know? Didn't pop that up because I just passed it. Hold on. Click on shop, you'll see what I'm trying to.
Because I do like that a lot better, having your name, and I mean, then it looks more professional. But
and my cute little logo with my bunny on it.
Okay, so click on it, and then what do you want me to click? How it works, or
click on shop?
Okay.
Okay, see, it says Island Hopper Grocery Delivery charges a 20% service charge and a $25 delivery fee. And then a $20 authorization will be charged at checkout as a reservation fee.
Which is just like Dumpling.
An 8% credit card processing fee will be charged on all transactions. So they have to hit I acknowledge, and they have to read all that before.
But that's cool. I like that. You don't like that?
No, I do. I was just telling you.
Yeah. I like this a lot.
My charges and stuff.
Because again, you know me, I'm all transparency. I'd rather see these come up. I know they're going to all be in there anyway, so I'd rather just see it come up in the beginning.
No, 100%. And then if you click on how it works, it says place your order, and then enter arrival information. Let us know where you're staying when you arrive. Check out your order and reserve your delivery. Arrive to a fully stocked kitchen. We will shop for your order and stock it in your vacation home condo prior to your arrival. So
just so you know, when you click shop on Holly's, the first category that defaults is red wine.
Since I've been sober for 13 years and don't drink and
I know, but I'm like, I looked, I'm like, does she not have other things? Everything else in there, it's just not alphabetical. Again, not you. I would think they would do that.
I love it though when people order alcohol because it gets.
Oh, you're right, because they see that. So.
No, I don't.
So on this one, I can't
what
pick.
Pops up.
I can't pick store.
No, you just pick. You get a grocery list, and I think it's based on Publix pretty much because there's stuff in there that's deli stuff that I know is Publix.
So because that's different too. I mean, like on Dumpling, we can add stores, or they can pick any damn store and specifically want you to go there.
Well, plus in Florida, we don't sell liquor in the stores here. You can get beer and wine in the grocery stores, but if they want to order Jim Beam or something, then they can put that on their list, and then I just know, hey, I got to run to the liquor store in addition to the grocery store.
So you have not a boss card, but a Prepped card.
Correct.
And that Prepped card works anywhere.
Correct.
Does it have to be authorized?
Yes, when they know that just like same with Dumpling, they know.
But if they want liquor and you don't know where you're going for it yet.
Oh, it doesn't have to be authorized what store I'm going to. It just authorizes an amount, just like they do with Dumpling.
But what if they put in like 4 things that you need to go to 4 stores? Is it just adding it as one and then a $20? Or are they going to be cool with you making 4 charges?
For them, they're just ordering one list.
Right, for them. But for you, is it going to let you go to 4 stores and break that apart?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it'll let me put whatever I need on there because, it's just like with Dumpling also, where you take the picture of the receipt and you submit that on your invoice.
Sure.
So, they see what I know, but I guess
my point was, like, if I'm ordering all these things and I can't pick the store, and I've got things from like, hey, I need you to go to the butcher. I need you to go to the liquor store. I need you to go to the grocery store and the pet store.
They're not going to shut the card off because you've shopped at one place or 2 places or what. They're not going to shut that card off, or not. I shouldn't say shut it off, but they're not going to stop you from using it or whatever unless maybe they'll see when your invoice comes in that you're done. You know what I
Oh, so
mean?
like you can shop galore on it. I'm not saying take advantage of it, but you can go, do everything you need to do, and then it's not till you go, I'm done,
Right.
delivered,
Yep.
and then they're like, okay, total it
Submit your
all.
invoice, charge the customer,
I'm
and
just
you're good.
asking because also for people that are on Dumpling and me, like that's different because in Dumpling you're gonna have to put a hold on each one. Like if you want me to stop at 3 places, you have to put the hold on each one. Or at least they mark it that I'm going to be going to PetSmart, that I'm going to be going to King Supers, that I'm going
If
to.
yes, if they're putting it in as 2 stores, but not as much as you think, because when I've had a customer order and when all that stuff was going on and we were out of stock everywhere, I would
Mhm.
go to 2 or 3 Publix for them, and I could use it every Publix I went to. You know, it didn't matter. They weren't going to shut that off until I was sent the invoice in. So you're still okay.
Okay. Um, but so okay, I guess I mean, what? So even with what has gone on the last year, what has happened with you on this app?
What do you mean?
I mean, like, have you liked it? Have you have you made? Have you made? I know that it was a hard year to gauge, but because of some health stuff and
Right.
whatnot. But do you feel like this is going well? Like I'm trying to.
I
I
do
don't.
like it. And I think that the potential is there for it to be a really good thing.
I mean, are there services like there are in Dumpling that are going to help you get in with um, potential Airbnb owners? I'm not saying it needs to be, but are there tools
No,
like that?
no,
No.
that's all.
Okay.
It's all on you.
Okay.
So, and as a matter of fact, you and I talked about this, I think, when we did the last live on my channel when we were doing our dumpling show,
Hmm.
um, about when you pay the $29 fee on dumpling, and then if you don't have an order, what is it, a month, that they pull you off of the marketplace because they're not sure if you're active. Remember
Right.
we talked about this and
Yeah.
we
Yeah.
said, but if you're paying the $29 a month, you obviously would have shut that off if you weren't active. So we were going to talk to Joel and be like, hey, if they're paying the $29 fee, why don't you leave them on the marketplace? You know, because things are slow. That's not fair. You're pulling them off the marketplace.
Yeah.
Remember that? We
Yeah.
still need to talk to him about that because that still happens.
Yeah.
Because it
Yeah.
just happened to me again. And I
Yeah.
and I was like, oh yeah, we were going to mention that.
Yeah. I mean, I hate to say this, but until Holly and I do, or somebody does get an answer and talk to Joel, we'll try and maybe do that soon. But do a ghost order every once in a while for just nothing, one item for yourself.
Yeah, because I think it
Because
was a
I also,
30
I
days.
don't think you maybe plugged it more than me, but I do think people should be dumpling shoppers, much different than all these other apps, should be familiar with the, the, the ordering app.
Say again.
Like my customers, what they deal with in the app.
Oh, right.
Most of them just send me lists now. They take a picture of a list and you can
Yeah.
just do it that way. It's fine.
Right. Yeah, they don't
But
need to
again,
put the
you
grocery
should
list
put
in
if
there.
you're doing dumpling, you should be familiar with the other side of the app because it is a little strange.
Oh, 100. Yes, I have both apps on my phone, so I can go in and pretend to be a customer and
Yeah,
see what
yeah.
they're seeing, just to
I
continually
mean,
check.
like, that's what I'm saying for the customer, especially. It's strange.
Yeah, but
It's
if
very
they go in there,
foreign.
I'm
Like you
like,
just
hey, you can
gotta
go in there,
what?
put one item on your list, and tell me what you want. Text it to me or whatever. I don't care as long as it's set up so I can run the card. That's fine.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, I mean that's why I'm saying I've set up my own. I probably haven't used it in a while.
Yeah.
But if I got in that position of I don't remember if it's 30 or 60. It might be 30.
For what?
If you don't do a shop in 30 days, you are off
Yeah, I
marketplace.
think it is too. I
I mean,
just
I know when you and I first were starting, it was around 90
yeah.
or
I'm
if even. But
sure.
then I remember 60,
Double
but I
check.
do think it went to 30.
I don't know why
So
I think
there
that,
are
but
advantages to that though too. Remember how I used to tell you that I never ever get anybody who approaches me through marketplace? Now I do, but if you search Denver, I'm the only shopper.
really,
I mean, I haven't checked every, you have to check all the zip codes to see. But like when I check all the ones around me, yeah, I'm it. And I still to this day, I mean, half of the people that I do get in contact with through marketplace are always their only question is, "Hey Steve, can you go to Trader Joe's?"
yeah, I get that
It's
still
the
once in a while
biggest
too.
question. It's kind of hilarious. I keep like I break my brain every time trying to think, how do I do this? Because there's people out there that want
Yeah.
this.
Well, you can do it if you want to cover the groceries. I mean, you can't put it on the boss cards.
Right. But all this came from Trader Joe's. They don't even want to see me in there conducting business off an app. They're
I'm back on the
they're
marketplace.
pretty anal about it. You know what I mean?
Oh, I know.
Like I mean, both sides, because Trader Joe's is like, do not come in here and shop for other people. Do not do it. It's like, why? You don't make money? And like,
I know that was crazy. I really don't understand that either. But
Josh, Steve, do you
I
really
would
do?
still
I really
do it,
do.
though.
I mean, I need to build it. Holly, you know, none of us ever have the time. Holly's trying to build prep vacations. I'm trying to build my dumpling out for years, but I still have my like the clients I have. I still have like they're good to me. It's if I put in the effort, I know that it's there. Just like us, people are sick of the gig apps a lot. Maybe even people have even stopped using them. And if you approach them, they'd be like, wait, how's this work? And you might have to really sit down and really explain, listen, this is me and you working together. Straight up, you know, you get in-store prices, you get discounts. Like here in Colorado, you get fuel points. I can enter the customer's number, my customer's phone number, and get them fuel points. So there's all the perks that you get going yourself to the store you can get.
Right.
You know,
No, I still believe that it's a great business model and that it can be done really well and that you can make money doing it. But it is taking the time, and you have to be self-motivated to get out there and find your clients, whether it's on Prepped or with Dumpling.
Yeah.
So
yeah, no, I get you're going to
life
have to
gets
do
in
it
the
with
way.
both. I mean, when we've had advice from people saying go to city council meetings, these are not dumb ideas, people. They're really not.
No. And I'll tell you, the guy that owns Costa Concierge, he was telling me the same thing. That's how, he built his business up, was going to Chamber of Commerce and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. I mean, I think both have. I'll say this. I said it in the beginning. I don't think either of these companies. I love Joel, but I don't think either of these companies picked good names. I'm just saying. I don't know why, because they're great ideas, but dumpling.us isn't grabbing people. It's not. It's like, what is that? You know, you make dumplings? Like, no. Like, I mean, I guess I'm just saying that like that part wasn't done good. And even some of the interface of like getting to it, because the information on the website for dumpling is that I know inside and out is great. You're going to learn a lot, but it's weird the way it's laid out. There's a little too much, and I'm not being one of these 15-second people that can only pay attention for 15 seconds, but it's a little harder to navigate than your average website to kind of find out everything you want to know.
I do like, though, that Dumpling changed our personal pages and made them a little more expansive, so you can put a lot more information and stuff on there. So like when somebody clicks on me, they get a much better look of my stuff. So.
Yeah. So I guess where we're at right now is these are available. You can go to Prept Vacations. I put it in there, and I'll put it in the show notes for people watching on the replay. I'll put the dumpling one down there. And I don't think I'll put the ahead of arrival, because that might just throw you guys off. Like, what? Because that's where people would order from. Now, if you're a millionaire and you want to email me because you're going to be traveling to Sarasota and you want to spend $1,000 with Holly every day, I will definitely put you in touch with the one where you go to order. So, but the two you should look at are these. And yes, they're much different. And yes, it requires a little bit of extra work. It's like the people who've been telling me lately, like, yeah, there's good curry offers out there, but man, that always requires a little extra work. I was pulling my hair out the other day. I did a live and I was like, I was trying to be cool about it, but I just couldn't. I was just like, dude, you know what? To make more money, you got to do more work sometimes. I'm sorry. That's not even me generational. That's just fact, guys. I mean, some of us have gotten very lucky with catering apps, and you get these $400 orders or whatever, and they're very easy and whatnot. And that's different. But like, just like honeymoon periods are all over, you are going to have to put in the work. But at the end of the day, the honeymoon period doesn't have to end.
How often are you doing dumpling right now? Do you have regular clients that are?
I have 3 clients.
Are they like monthly or weekly, or what are they?
Bi-weekly. One is just as sporadic as can be. She could be, but she travels. She could be 4 times in a month and then not.
Right.
I don't know. I even need to get better about that. I need to get better about approaching the clients I do have and saying, "Hey, I'm trying to really get this business dialed now." Um, and for a lot of years I've been integrating all these other things, but I'm trying to get it down to these. So, is there a regular schedule we could get on? And, maybe I could
Right.
even just pick up things you need, almost like you do with auto buy on Amazon. And then if you want to add things, go ahead. But like, I'll go get if I don't hear from you, I'll go get all your paper supplies and stuff, toilet paper, paper towel, and anything like that. Maybe there's a sell there, and you just need to look at it. But then also getting other customers. I might even get to a point where I haven't done this. I have been referred to other people who are still on my nice list. They just stopped using it, but the referral thing is big. Maybe I could even ask the customers, hey, because the ones I have love me. So I think I'd be cool saying, hey, you got anybody else who's looking for this service? I'm really looking to grow this out
Right.
or start building it. I don't think they'd be offended. Even if they had to say, no, I don't think they'd be offended. So I feel very comfortable doing that. I don't know.
I don't know why
You
they would
have
be.
to, I guess that my point is you have to get creative with Dumpling.
Yeah.
Or you just have to get more business minded. This is how normal business people do things. Like you
yeah,
need
with
to,
either, whether it's the resort or whether it's regular dumpling. I mean, either way, you have to be. It's not going to just fall in your lap.
right. And it's also not going to be $2 crap offers taking up a half hour of your time going 5 miles to wreck your car. And there's nothing at the end of the road. You are building a business.
Yeah, and you decide what you want to charge. That's the great thing is, I've got a $25 minimum. I'm not leaving my house for under $25.
Yeah. So, I mean, maybe maybe you might think mine's off. I don't know. Mine is, what is it? It's, $25 minimum. And then or maybe I can't remember. It's per store. It's like $20, but it's 15%. You following? So if you hit 15% is higher than $20, it goes to 15%, but I'm at least
It's
going to get
20,
20.
not 25.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
But
I raised mine to 25
I'm at
when gas went
15,
up.
and I remember last time I think you were at 20.
Yeah,
And I was wondering, am I taking it too low? And see, now I'm at the point of, and I guess this is something I should mention here at the end because it's important. Here I am saying 15% that I want to take from my shops, but now I'm thinking, you know what? I think the people that I would land as customers, I think I'd land them if I was at 20% too. I don't think that, I know that it's a little hop, it's a little extra money, but the type of people I'm trying to land, I don't think it'd be like, well, if you were 15%, I'd do it, but not 20.
Right. Well, and then they're going to put gratuity on there as well too. So
yeah. So, but I'm just saying that I think that maybe I should raise it, like, because it is hard to get your own clients and you should charge accordingly. You're going to be giving them top shelf service. They're still going to save money a lot. I mean, the way it all breaks down, it looks like, like they can see that, oh, you're making a decent amount too, but there's nothing wrong with that.
right.
Because at the end of the day, if they've ever done Instacart, they're going to still see that this all came cheaper. Whatever happened, it came cheaper. And Steve, the dumpling guy, made a lot more money than the crappy Instacart guy.
Well, and even if they pay a little bit more than maybe they are on Instacart, I think they're going to realize the value of that when they have the same person that actually gives a crap, if their strawberries have mold on them, you know what I mean? They've got people that the people that are doing this, we're not just trying to get through one order and get to the next one. We're checking the expiration dates. We're making sure we've got temperature controlled bags. We're taking care of their stuff, and they appreciate that. The people that appreciate it, they know, and that's who your customers are.
Yeah. Yeah. And we've mentioned it before, but I will say this. If you're thinking about the app and all that, all of my clients, I'll always be welcome for the client to use the app, but I really, in all honesty, hope they don't. I have 2 of my clients that just use the King Supers, which is Kroger here, the app, and they just go in and fill out what they'd want. They see the in-store pricing, and then they just take screenshots and just send it to me.
Yeah. But aren't they paying you the Dumpling app though, right?
Right, but they're sending me,
Still
instead of a
place the order.
handwritten list, they're sending me it that way. So then it's all grouped too.
Yeah.
Here's all your dairy. Here's all your.
No, I love a list like that.
Yeah, and it's like, so if you're looking at the dumpling interface, that's what we were talking about being weird. It's not the best, but I can tell people just use the app or just use the shopping cart for the store you want, and then just take a screenshot.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, I think that's a great idea.
There's a lot of ways to do it. You really are left to your own devices for a lot of it. So I think it's always worth it. I think that was a good time for this because it's a good kick in the ass, because I always say I need to get more into this, but I need to do this because I'm trying to build out my courier business too. And this should go alongside it, because the more things like this I do, the more freedom I get from the apps. And how awesome would it be, everybody, if you had like this and like another B2B thing, or even just this, and you didn't even have to use the apps ever. Mm-hmm. I mean, there are people like that who do these so.
I mean, it's
and make more than we do grinding the gig apps ever, even in the best of days. But it takes a while. You got to build that business. But how awesome is that? Because you're in a lot better position to, like, if they increase the volume of drivers in your market and the orders decrease, you're not seeing as many, you're still going to have your clients.
Yeah. And it's not unusual for me to make about $100 doing a grocery order like this on Resort.
Yeah.
Because it's different fees. So,
yeah. But that's all I really had. If you have anything else, I don't know. What about your channels? I know you haven't been doing a bunch, but do you want to promote anything?
Well, I got other ones I'm doing, but you got to find me. I'm like Kim. I'm hiding in my other channel, but I'm actually not that hard to find.
Kim has, by the way, Kim has 3, and everybody is so sure I know what they are. I don't.
Really?
She's never told me.
I have 3 also, but I'm really just kind of working on getting this other one built up right now. But I'm coming back to Savvy.
I have 9, 1 for each of my personalities, so they all run a channel. So you'll never know, because I don't even know my other personalities' channels. When I switch into that personality, they just must log on. And
well, it does get to be a lot. If you have social media for all your channels, you've got a website for all your channels. I mean, I've got a lot of crap going on out there, but
yeah.
Anyway,
thank you, Holly, for joining me. I gave Holly like a month notice on this, and I had to remind her tonight. So actually, not at all. Holly's so awesome. I just called her a few hours ago, and I was like, oh shit, because I saw it was coming up tonight. I almost forgot, and it was the last one. And so this is episode 5, guys. So now it'll be a few week pause. It won't be 30 months. A few weeks, 3-4 weeks, and then it'll be season 4. I'll do another 5 episodes. But I just want to spend the time making them cool. And that's what I feel like we did this time around. And when Hannibal and I started it, we did 5. So, and it's just kind of an easy thing. But everybody knows I have a lot of other things going on, including on Thursday is the premiere of the show that everybody is I think everybody's a little like, I can't wait to see you all show up, but concerned because I even invited trolls. And I said it that way because it's called The Conversation. I'm sick of comments being left by people who created a YouTube account yesterday, and I can read it and I kind of can see through it and go, I think I know who wrote that. You know what I mean? We know people create. Well, we know people create burner accounts when they just get mad or whatever. So these are new accounts, and they come in and they make just awful comments, or they attack people in my comments or whatever. And I've been getting a lot of comments, like 13 in some of these other videos. We're getting into some deep discussions. So I decided to have the conversation, 1 topic per night. Anybody can join. It will be me. I will introduce the topic, and then anybody in the chat can join. Just join. But I've said, if you go after anybody, I will not hesitate, not only kicking you off, but going back to my old bar days and using your face to open the door while throwing you out. So my only thing is be respectful. The conversation, this is what I said the other night, the conversation, it won't work unless people can be respectful to each other.
And when is that show? I'm sorry.
Thursday. So Roundtable's on pause till Max goes to college. So I'm trying not to do anything after Max is off work, but this would be like like 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific.
Oh, okay. So it'll be earlier in the day.
Yeah, it's gonna be
Does
like
that start?
5 here, and it's all of mine are like an hour now. Maybe it moves a little bit, but like so. Bottom line is this one doesn't have to be. I'm gonna try and shoot for it, but I'm gonna also try and, if we're close, finish the conversation so that we're never coming back to it.
Is that this week that it starts?
Yeah, it's gonna be the first one. Because in the last one, I told two people that I had to remove comments. I said, I hate this. I said, I never used to have to do this. And one of the comments was like one of the best comments I've ever had on one of my videos, but it was multi-paragraphed. It was like, dude, you're hitting on everything. This is great. Almost was like, I want to get in contact with this person. And the last paragraph was just telling me how stupid everybody in the comments was and what idiots they all are. And, like, and I'm like, dude, everything you said was awesome. And now you just wrecked it all. Again, like, I'm deleting this. And so my point is, like, if you have some kind of issue like that, I want you to come on the conversation, say your side of something. And then if you start going that way, I'll be like, dude, you've said a lot of smart stuff. Shut up. Stop.
So how are you? What are you promoting your topic as this week?
It was going to be some legislation stuff. I think I'm going to do how many ways, and then again, it can include a ton of things. But tell me what you think of this, because I've already started a list a couple times, and I've got over 30. How many ways is DoorDash breaking independent contractor law, or any law, including stealing tips? All these things. Let's make a timeline, but that can also mean all DoorDash discussion that night.
So are you going to have people come on? Like,
I'm just going to have the link in the live chat. Join.
Oh, so they can just come up like I'm on here now. And
yep, you could, like, anybody in the chat right now could go, wait, I'm interested in what you're talking about. I'm coming in for a minute.
Oh.
But it's not going to, what I don't want to have is, a lot of channels do lives and they do the multi people, but everybody's just sitting there and nobody's really saying anything. Or they turn the cameras off and all this. Like, I don't want one of those. So that's why I'm going to try and keep it to a limited time. I don't want it running forever. I just want to get through a topic. So I want, like, I would like cameras on, and I would like people engaging, and you don't have to stay. Just come in and say your piece. You can leave or you can stay. And
well, I don't think I've ever had a show like that you and I have done together where we may have had 6 people. I don't think there's ever been a lull in any conversation with our people, because we're always
right.
Stuff to say.
But this is gonna, I'm hoping this is gonna bring in a lot of people I've never had on a live before, or never met on a live.
Well, I think people are also a lot braver behind their typewriter than they are to come on.
Oh yeah, that's for sure. That's why I said, even you trolls, I said, you get one chance. Come on up.
Yeah.
I mean, because it's as easy as me going boop, and you're gone. Like, so.
True.
And then I know too, like, never watch that person, but I want to let them. So I'm not just trying to dare you so I catch trolls. I'm trying to encourage trolls not to be trolls and to come on and say your position. Because sometimes a lot of people just come across as just angry, pissed off, and you're, even if you have something good to say, it's not being heard because you're being an idiot.
Right. Yeah.
But some of those people I know have things to say, and I know them. I'm like, dude, just, if you didn't call everybody the blah, 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 blah at the end, that whole piece would have been awesome.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm hoping maybe it'll be like, just, I feel like a lot of people in the chat want that chance to come up. We'll see. I guess we'll see. I don't know how it'll go.
Yeah. It'd be nice if everybody could be grown-ups and have conversations and discussions about things without getting their feelings hurt. And
I mean, that's why the first one was going to be on legislation, because I was tackled a couple times on it where I had to be like, no, that's not true. It's this. And they're like, what do you mean? And I was thinking, I'm going to have to write like 32 pages to explain this. And it made me think, I need a show like this, but I don't want to have it be the first episode, because that one might get real hot and heavy and heated. People coming in from California go, Prop 22 is good. And like, I won't do it. I'll be more the mediator, but like, I don't want other people in there who know going, no, it's not. And I live there, idiot. Like, I could see that one being a fight. So maybe that one needs to be a little down the road so I can control it better.
Yeah.
It's easier to start with one like DoorDash. Like, my list is heavy. Like, I was doing it for an episode of 13, And I kept adding to it after the fact. I've got like 30 things on there that they're breaking the law on, or they've stolen our tips, or just things they've done I want to remind people of. Let's go through this timeline of how awesome this company is.
But what are you going to do about it? That's what you have to figure out.
Well, and yeah, and also, I mean, the spin on this will be like, I mean, also, how's it going in your market? What have you seen for changes? I don't know. I feel like the conversation will come out of the people who come on.
Yeah.
So unlike the roundtable, I won't know who they are though. It's just going to be.
What's your acceptance rate right now on DoorDash?
I am actually at 50% again.
You're at 50?
Well, it's because of transparency. I don't see any offers. I mean, I see like 2-3 an hour, or for an hour or two. Like, we have no volume left at all, and I can schedule any day I want. And I don't need Dash now because it always shows light pink or hot pink, and it never did for a year. Now every day, right now, it would be Tuesday at 2. It is, and so you can just hit Dash now and have 10%. But because of that, somehow with the transparency and all that, it started only sending me offers that I feel like it knew what I would accept, because my thing is $2 a mile when I'm doing DoorDash. And everybody's like, that doesn't happen anymore. Well, I'm not seeing many offers like I was before. I don't see 30 offers in 2 hours. I'm only seeing 3, but they all meet my criteria. So really, in essence, it's better because I don't want to see the other 27 that didn't meet it.
Yeah, but sometimes I can see 3 in an hour and they're still $2, $3, $4.
Yeah.
It's just, yeah, it's not great. That's why my acceptance rate, I don't think has ever gone over, like, not ever, but I mean, in the last good 6 months to a year, like 12% maybe.
Oh,
tops.
You've beaten me until we had transparency.
Yeah.
I mean, I was like 4% to like 11 for like 2 years.
Yeah, that's where I am most of the time.
So thank you, Holly. Thank you, everybody. And we'll see you back here. We'll see you Thursday for the conversation. Please join. I don't know how it'll go, but I think that you guys should all be here.
7 p.m. Eastern?
7 p.m. Eastern. Yep.
All right.
And here's it's beta mode, people.
I will put that on my calendar.
So with that said, we're out of here, and we will see you all soon.
Thanks.